guys, I'm the Recon, and today we'll be looking at Recon Breakpoint. Now, I like this game. I do. I like it a lot. I'm having a lot of fun fucking playing this. I've buried so many hours into playing, it's just unreal. I've been playing, as you can see from the gameplay here, I'm playing with the fleet. Now, looking online and looking on YouTube especially, I'm seeing lots and lots of videos going after this game. And me and the Flea have both been discussing this, and we don't see how it's fair. We really don't, because the one area that this game's taking so much fucking heat for is the microtransactions. Now, in any other game, I've got a fucking whole archive there of games. Any other game with a microtransaction, I can understand people being dubious about. Even with this one. But the amount of heat this one's taking is ridiculous. It really is. First of all, they're kicking off about, oh, there's microtransactions in a full price game. That's just the world we live in now. Every game is going to have microtransactions. Christ, Shadow of War had microtransactions. Get used to it. It's a sad fact. This is the world we live in now. But then they're kicking off to degrees that I just don't understand. Right? I mean, like, take for example, like, when it comes to the microtransactions, it is literally your choice if you want to buy them or not. I know that's an old argument. I say, oh, it's optional. If you want to buy them, you can. If you don't, you don't. Yeah, it's an old argument. But in this one, that argument's actually fairly stronger than most others. Like, I'm not going to buy any of them because I don't see a need to. I'm going to grind this game out. I'm going to level up. I'm going to get my guns. I'm going to earn my shit. But here's something. I saw a reviewer on YouTube going on about the microtransactions for this game, bitching about it big time. And he brings up how you can buy the time savers and you can buy guns and you can level yourself up before you even start playing. He then goes on to say that you can earn the guns and earn your levels, obviously, by playing the game and grinding it out. In the same sentence that he was bitching about the microtransactions, about being able to buy the guns and buy EXP, he turns around and explains that he's not going to grind out because he doesn't have time to grind it out for the levels and for the guns. And I'm there like, you idiots, then you've basically just pointed out you are the exact fucking person that these microtransactions are catered for. You fucking moron. That's the reason these are there. It is a massive game and not everyone has the time to play a game of this size. Then it comes down to people going, oh, well, if you can buy guns, it's going to fuck the PvP. No, it won't, because in this game the PvP is leveled. That's the way it is. You can jump into a PvP game, it doesn't matter if you've got a fucking, game starting gun, and someone you're going against has got an end game gun. Your guns are going to do the same damage. So that argument's taken out. The microtransactions in this game give no one an edge in PvP. The only person that the microtransactions does affect is the person that bought them. That's it. That's all it does. It affects the PvE, not PvP. So if someone wants to go out and, throw a few more quid into the game, buy a good gun, buy some XP to improve their game experience, why does anyone else should have a fucking say? They shouldn't. I'm not bothered by it, because nothing anyone else buys will affect me. Now, that might change down the road, but right now, as it stands, the argument for the microtransactions in this game is piss weak. It really is. Especially when there are legitimate reasons for going after this game. There are problems with the game, yes. There's lag, there's loading issues, there's no linear path to it. But because of that, the Flea, as you can see I'm playing with here, we've just been venturing around fucking about, killing shit, blowing shit up, having a good time. We've barely touched any of the missions. In his journeys, he's gone off and he's ended up killing one of the main enemies, Walker. And now that he's gone back to do some of the missions, he's now finding missions about Walker, and he's showing up in them when he's already supposed to be dead. Now that's a legitimate problem. If your game can't tell a coherent story, that's a big fucking problem. But nobody's mentioned that. Nobody's mentioned about how easy the bosses are to kill. No. They're all going after the microtransactions, which in this game, like I said, don't matter. They legitimately don't matter. But here's something strange to think about. Here's Ghost Recon. This game's getting a lot of heat over the microtransactions, which I've now already explained will not affect you in any way unless you've bought them. Only then will the effect happen. You will not affect anyone else. Everyone else will not affect you. And it's getting a lot of fucking heat for that. It's getting a lot of heat for the microtransactions, and it's being blasted. Here's NHL 20. This game also has microtransactions. People can buy packs, which will give them better players, which in turn gives them better teams. Now again, people have spent a lot of fucking money on the microtransactions in this game. And the people that have done that have got pretty much god tier teams. And they're at the top of the table. Permanently. So please, for the love of God, someone explain to me why all these reviewers are kicking off about this. Yet not a single fucking one of them has kicked off about this. A game where the microtransaction doesn't matter, doesn't affect you, and they're going apeshit. A game where the people who have paid more money than everyone else is permanently at the top of the table, and everyone's fucking quiet on it. Bit strange, isn't it? Thing is, I've got a feeling that these reviewers who are kicking off about Breakpoint, either one, they haven't done their homework truly on what the microtransactions are. I mean, is it still predatory? Yeah, it is. I'll give it that. But it's not like it's going to affect anyone else. It's not like if I went out now and spent 50 quid on the microtransactions, it's not like my payment is going to affect anyone fucking else in the world. So why should anyone else get a say? It is still predatory, but at the same time it's a big game. These microtransactions are catered to those who do not have the time to grind it out. These are the options that people have to make their gameplay experience more fun and more enjoyable for them. That's the way it is. Now, if you were to look at another game like Battlefront 2, that got slammed, and I can see why that got slammed. And I was on the same fucking side as the reviewers that time, because the microtransactions in that game gave people an unfair edge over everyone else. That's just the way it was. But I don't see why this game's getting as much flack. I honestly think the reviewers, one, like I said, have not done their homework fully, or two, have realised that they just seem to get more views if they're kicking off about microtransactions in the game. Because that seems to make more sense to me. That they've gone after this game about the microtransactions because they know it's going to get their video more hits, more views, and in turn make them more money. Which, if that is the case, I'm not saying it is, but if it is the case of these reviewers, that's pretty fucking scummy. Especially when there are games out there like NHL 20, which are fucking flying under the radar because they're going after this. Now, on to more of the game. Is it a good game? It is a fucking good game in my opinion. I'm loving going out, grinding, killing shit, blowing shit up. I'm having a blast just fucking running around with the fleet and just tearing the game apart. It's got a decent storyline. I couldn't get into the Wildlands like the last one, Ghost Recon Wildlands. Couldn't get into that. Story didn't grip me. This one does. I want to see how this one goes. You can easily lose hundreds of hours into this game, which again is more reasoning for the microtransactions, for those people who can't pour that kind of time into a game. That's what they're there for. It's just an option. Now, would I suggest, like, when it comes to other problems, like there's lag. There is lag, there is loading issues in the game. It's crashed a couple of times, but nothing major. But at the same time, there are these issues in the game. But I find it funny because where the game's so big, it is absolutely massive and varied. There's tons of shit to do in here. But because of all that, that's what brings in the lag and the loading issues and the crashes. But just because people expect a game with a map this big to have those bugs, it kind of gets ignored. But just because we expect it doesn't mean that they are any less of a problem, which I find strange. Why is it we can forgive problems like that, but yet they target the microtransactions? Just confuses me. But at the end of the day, it is a great game. It is a lot of fun to fucking play, whether or not you're playing on your own or with a team. Although personally I would suggest playing with a team. You get a lot more fun with it that way. But no, would I suggest buying the game? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If you feel like you've got the time, if you don't want to buy the microtransactions, and you know that you can literally pour hundreds of hours into this game, go for it. But bear that in mind, if you don't have time to pour hundreds of hours into a game, and you do have a problem with microtransactions, you might want to give this one a miss at least until the price of the game comes down. That's just the way I think of it. But anyway guys, that's just my opinion. Let me know what yours is down in the comments below. Until next time guys, I've been the Raccoon. Take care and have a good one.